guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial. I just wanted to do one more little fun summer into fall transition tutorial. I'm actually going to be using the Flamingo Violet VOSS palette. I was like, what better way than to end the summer with this palette if I can open it. And this is what it looks like, and it looks super duper cute. You have like beautiful eyeshadows, and then you have this nice mirror right here, which is huge. So I'm just really excited to be playing with it. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but I definitely want to do something fun and something that can kind of inspire you if you have a lot of these fun colors, but you still kind of want to keep it subtle and not too intense. So if you want to continue watching, then please go ahead and do so. So now that we are up close and personal, I'm going to go ahead and start off. So I'm going to start with this row right here. And first I'm going to go ahead and pick up the color Sunbathe, which is right there. We're just going to go ahead and pop that right on the crease. And I have to say, there's no fallout with these. I'm like tapping and there's no fallout, which is great. It's a really beautiful shade and it blended out really well. You can find this palette in Sephora. I know that when I went to my local Sephora, they had it there. So if you're looking for a fun palette and you're still not ready to let go of summer, then I would really recommend this one. It really blends like a dream. So I always like to start off with the lightest color of that row. So in this case, Sunbathe was the lightest color of that row. And it just kind of works really well to kind of help everything go on so much nicer and smoother. And because I have the hooded eyes, I like to go ahead and go much higher than where my crease folds. So now we're gonna be taking, oh shit, fucked up one of the colors. That's the issue. When you have long nails, like, you will dig those puppies right into your eyeshadow and not even notice. So now we're gonna be taking the color Popsicle, which is a more orangey color, a more orangey tone as opposed to Sunbathe. So we're gonna be taking this shade up next. I'm gonna be using the same brush because you want to have whatever was left of that Sunbathe color to kind of blend in with the new color, which is Popsicle. You want it to transition really seamlessly. So we're just going to go right here, kind of closer to where the crease is and not drag it up too high, because you kind of want there to be some dimension between the colors. And even though it's not a big difference, there's a subtle difference between the two colors that kind of really gives the look various dimensions, because I want it to appear as if there's depth. Definitely one of my favorites to do. Okay, so once we have applied those two colors, we are gonna move on to the next color, which is called Lemonade. It's this beautiful yellow, and you guys know that I'm a huge fan of yellows. Dominique Cosmetics makes the best yellow in my opinion. So I'm gonna dig into a more like precise pointed brush, and I'm gonna use the color Lemonade because I wanna see how it's going to work. We're just gonna keep this color right on our crease. Okay, I don't like that yellow. Let me go ahead and swatch it. This one does have a little bit of fallout. It's a very, very sheer yellow. I was like, let me swatch it on my hand. I don't think you guys can see that, but it's extremely sheer, so that's canceled. I do not recommend that yellow, especially if you're like a true yellow lover. You're probably not gonna like it. So I'm just gonna go back into the color Popsicle, that orangey, the more orangey one, and we're just gonna kind of build up that color on this side. And yes, this color definitely is a good one, and it blends out really, really well. That is approved. Okay, and now we're gonna be taking the shade Island, which is this beautiful color right here. It's like a rose gold color, and I like it because I feel like for transition from summer into fall, it's not like too pinky. It's also not too bright where it looks like one of these colors right up here where it's like screaming like summer still. So let's go ahead and take our MAC 242 brush, and we're gonna take that shade Island. I'm gonna pop that right onto our lid. They're very pigmented. Well, this one's very pigmented. Right now I'm just literally going in as if I was like cutting the crease, except I'm not using concealer to do so. I actually haven't really been into using concealer to cut my crease first. I've been lazy and I just feel like it's too much damn work. And we aren't using any MAC Fix Plus right here, so this is a really good situation. Almost like we're going into the fall vibe without really going in there yet. I mean, we really can't fully go there yet. It's like literally 95 degrees outside right now. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in with Popsicle right here, that orangey shade, and we are just going to take that in these outer edges because you wanna kind of wrap the look together. Kind of like when you're writing a paper, you do the conclusion. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this new brush. This is a new brush, but like a new brush to the look. The Morphe M506, I love this brush. It's like a small little blending brush, but I like to use it for these outer edges because it's small, so it can really get in there and pack on the color. If you don't have this brush, I really suggest you try it out because it just makes a big difference. You have a really nice black, which I kind of may be trying for this tutorial, so let's see where this look takes us. A lot of my looks that I do here, I just wing them. Like, I don't even have like a planned out look. I just kind of go on camera and I'm like, this color looks pretty, let's play with this. And we got ourselves a look. Okay, so as you can see, I took the shadow all the way up to almost my brows, but a huge part of doing that is making sure that as you're kind of taking it upwards, you're really blending it out, so it gives you a really seamless blend, because the last thing you want is for it to be like really harsh line. So I always like to gradually kind of blend it, especially on the outer edges. You want to go in circular motions because you don't want there to be like a cut line right here. So that is looking super snatched. And I'm like living. There will be a color in case you're like, okay, this definitely looks more so fall than anything else. We are gonna go in with one color, just kind of like a pop of something to kind of give it more of that like a little splash of summer. But this is like, yes. Okay, so I really wanna dig into the black, which is called Sunnies, right down here. So what we're gonna do with that black is we're going to be creating a liner. We're not gonna use gel liner today. We're just going to be using a shadow black to do our liner. And I kind of wanna do like a smoked out wing. I haven't done a wing in like a minute or two on my channel. So I'm like, let's go ahead and do the wing. So we're gonna be taking the same brush, the Sigma E65 brush, to go ahead and do our liner. This is the same brush that I use when I'm actually doing real liner. But for now, I just kinda want to use this as well because it's very nice and precise, and I really just kind of want it to give me like smoky vibes. I don't want anything too like harsh. I'm really hoping that this black is nice and pigmented. It's hard to tell right now because the orangey shadow is kind of like overtopping it. So I'm going to be taking this Morphe M508, which I like to use to kind of like smoke out my lower lash line. And we're just going to go ahead and kind of go over wherever there may be areas where it still looks like you can still see the shadow that we have on our lid, and just kind of like pat it out. But I really want to kind of go in there and just kind of give it that like smoked out effect. Now comes the fun part, is adding the wing. So we're gonna go ahead and just pull a little bit out here. I always like to pull like this, just because it kind of helps me see exactly where I'm taking the wing. And I don't want the wing to be like so like intense and like upwards. I kind of wanted to follow where that eyeshadow ended, which is why I didn't directly take it upward. Once we do this, we can go ahead and start smoking it. I'm just gonna go in and kind of sharpen a little bit. So I'm taking the M508 brush and I'm just kind of smudging it. Not too much, you don't want to be so intense with it, but you kind of want to smudge it a little bit so that it starts to give you that smoky eyeliner effect. So I'm also going to go back in with that small blender that we use for the outer edges. Just kind of diffuse it. A lot of the key to having like a really good smoked out liner is to really diffuse it as much as you possibly can and blend and blend and blend until you feel like it looks kind of smoky. Right now you can start to see that it kind of gives you that smoky edge. I feel like a smoky eyeliner kind of has some residue of other colors on the eye look. Obviously not really extreme residue, but it does have some of that residue because you want to make sure that it kind of goes cohesively with everything else of the look. I don't want it to look too perfect. That's the whole thing with like smoky eyeliners and like the smoky effect, is not having it look too perfect. And I think that's something that I kind of struggle with sometimes because I'm such a perfectionist and like I want everything to look crisp and precise. I feel like sometimes I have a hard time with doing smoky liners. They're more of like my struggle boat because I want it to look so precise, but you kind of want to diffuse it. So you can see how now it doesn't look so like so precise and perfect. Ooh, yes. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so I went ahead and smoked out this liner, and I actually kind of like this one better. I don't know what it is. I feel like whenever I'm doing it off camera, I guess because I already got the hang of how I did this one, it was so much easier to do this one, but I mean, whatever. They both look really nice and snatched. So now we're gonna move on to lashes. So first things first, I always like to tightline when I'm doing lashes just so that you can't see the skin. And I'm just using the same Sigma E65 brush, and I'm using the Sigma liner in the shade Wicked. And then we're gonna go ahead and curl our lash just a little bit. I'm gonna be taking this new mascara that I opened up. It's the Monsieur Big Lancome Mascara. Actually really like this mascara. It's super creamy. And this one I already went ahead and tightlined. So we're just gonna go ahead and also put some mascara on there. I find that me doing mascara before lashes is so helpful because it really helps those lashes bond and almost look like one. I'm using the Audacious lash by Cakeface Beauty in collaboration with Kim Tai. I love this lash because it kind of has like a subtle wing effect to it towards the end. But not only that, I just feel like it is a really good lash when you have like some cool eyeshadow and you still want the eyeshadow to be seen. It's not super duper like dramatic. You also want to make sure that you give it a few moments to get tacky, because if you apply it straight on, it's going to just not go well. You know who the queen of smoked out wing liner is? Katie, here on YouTube, Lusterlux. She does the most gorgeous smoked out wing liners. I'm about to start watching tutorials again because I want to get better at this. I feel like this is definitely going to be a huge trend for, at least for me, for this fall season, doing a smoked wing liner. I feel like there's always room to learn. You can never be perfect. Nobody's better than anybody else. There's always things that one person's good at that maybe somebody else isn't. So for lashes, I would always say first, lock it in the middle. Then once you get that middle part locked in, you make sure that it's really there to stay and it's not gonna stick onto your tweezers and come off as you're about to do the other part. Really lock it in, then you move on to whatever edge you feel more comfortable. I like to move into the inner edge right here. And then lastly, once that is all secured, I go into this side and it just works perfectly. There we have it. So today for concealer, we're going to be actually using the KKW Beauty Concealer in the shade number 6. I really want to do kind of like a more brightening effect. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And honestly, I know a lot of people don't really talk about this concealer, but it's not a bad concealer. It kind of reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in consistency wise. I feel like it does a really good job of brightening my under eye, and it just feels really good. And like always, I'm going to be using my Airspun powder, and we are going to be baking that under eye because we all know it likes to crease. We're just kind of leave that powder there while we go and work. And I kind of just do it in like upward motions. This is just how I personally like to do it. Like I mentioned, not everybody likes to do their concealer this way, but when I'm doing a full face of makeup, I really like to like go all out. I feel like for me, concealer after you do like a full face of makeup, especially like a full-blown eyeshadow look, is like everything. Oh, real quick, I do want to mention that for foundation, I'm still on this like Dior kick. So I've been using this, like I mentioned, my tan. But I do feel like if you want a matte foundation, this probably won't be your favorite like matte foundation because it does kind of have like a little glow shine through. So that's why I'm going ahead and baking it now once that we've completed the eyes, because now I can go ahead and kind of see where the oil is peeked through so that it can stay in place. Okay, so now for our blush and for our bronzer. First bronzer, we're gonna go ahead and use our Hoola bronzer, and we're gonna be taking this nice fluffy IT Cosmetics brush. And we are just going to pop our Hoola bronzer everywhere. I've been so obsessed with the Hoola bronzer. Okay, so now we're gonna be going into our Morphe blush palette, and we are going to be applying our blush. Where's my blush brush? No, not you. Here we go. My crusty little old blush brush. So we're gonna be going in with the color MUA and Unapologetic. We're gonna be mixing those together. They're more of like a darker blush, but I like it because I feel like it kind of adds that more like it still has the pink in there, but it kind of adds like a little bit of depth into my cheek, which kind of almost creates the illusion of like a contour in a way, because the blush is a little bit darker as opposed to having a lighter blush. And I feel like as you're moving into fall, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but if you're a fan of kind of transitioning your blushes, I know that for the spring and summer, I like to use a more lighter brush, why do I keep saying brush? A more lighter and fun blush. And then in the fall and winter, I like to use a little bit of a darker tone blush, because I feel like it kind of goes with the season and kind of goes also with the eye looks that you create. I feel like in the fall and winter, your eye looks tend to be a little bit more in the darker side, and same thing with your lipsticks. So you kind of want something that's gonna cohesively go with everything, as opposed to having like this bright pink blush and then like a very like dark toned lip. It just looks kind of weird. So like I mentioned, this is the Morphe blush palette in the 8W, the Warm Master, and Unapologetic and MUA are like my favorite for the fall and winter. And we're just gonna take a little bit of my KKW Beauty Cream Contour. We're gonna go with the lighter shade. This is the medium contour stick. And we're just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of contour, nothing too crazy on the nose. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do go a little bit heavier and you guys call me out for it. And I totally appreciate it, because you guys always come from like a good place. You also wanna like teach me something, which I totally appreciate. So I've been going in with the lighter shade of the medium contour stick, and I find that this one kind of goes better with my complexion and doesn't make it look too dark. And then if I feel like I could blend it out a little bit more, I just go in with my sponge that has some foundation on it and just kind of take care of things right there. So that is that, and now we're gonna finish off the eyes. So I did tell you guys that because this is kind of like a transition into fall look from summer, we wanna kind of add something that will like still make it look summery in a way. So first things first, I do kind of want to do a little bit of a lower lash line smoke out. So we're going to be taking the color Sunbathe, the first color that we used. We're not going to be going with Popsicle because I feel like that's a little too orangey, which would kind of give it more of that like straight up fall time vibe. So we're taking the color Sunbathe, but it's like a very like summery orangey shade. And this summer, I've been a really big fan of doing kind of like a little bit of some white eye pencil in the lower lash line. So we're going to be taking my NYX pencil in the shade white. So I'm going to be using this little guy. And we're only gonna keep it on that like outer edge. You don't wanna push it too far in. There is a little bit of residue on the lashes, but it's okay because we're gonna be coating them with mascara, so don't worry about it. I feel like adding that white in there kind of gives it that summery vibe. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little hint of like some yellow, this shade called Pineapple right there. And we're just gonna pop that in our inner tear duct, just a very little of it. You don't wanna use too much, just to kind of give it a little bit of life. I love it. So that concludes the eyes. And now we're gonna move on to the last two things that like make the look. We're gonna be using our Milani highlight brush, and we're gonna be using the MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light and just kind of spritzing that a little bit. And then we're gonna take the highlighter and just apply that. I like this brush too because not only can you like rub it into the skin, but you can also pat it. Ooh, this highlight, man. Soulmate by Iluvsarahii in Dose of Colors. You need it in your life if you don't have it yet. Like, it really just It does things to me. Okay, so we're gonna be taking another Iluvsarahii Dose of Colors color, and this is Peachii, and we're gonna be using this on our lips. That scent is amazing. And the reason we're using Peachii is because, like I mentioned, every 2 seconds, you guys are probably sick of me saying this, but because it's a transition into fall, we still use our peaches in the summer and in the summer. And I feel like this is a color that you can use like year round. If you really like this color for every day, I feel like it's gorgeous. And I also feel like this color is super flattering on like brown skin, tan skin girls. It's really hard for us to find a peachy color like this that won't wash us out or look funky on us, but this one was done right, man. And the formula of these is so great. It feels so nice and creamy even though it's matte. Okay, so now that the lip is dry, we can go ahead and top it off with our favorite gloss at the moment, Brillo by Dose of Colors and Iluvsarahii. I feel like it's gonna be my favorite gloss for life. I need to get backups ASAP. I feel like a big thing for this summer was a really nice glossy lip, like a wet lip. So that's exactly where we're headed. Yeah, I need to like get on that and get backups, because once this collection is gone, it's gonna be gone. And I'm gonna be so sad if I don't have backups. So I may have to go ahead and place an order today for like 2 or 3 of them, because that's how much I love this gloss. So this is the completed look, and I am obsessed, to say the least. Like, these smoked out liners are giving me mad life right now. Now I just need to take my hair down and really be that bitch for the day. I had to like bring you guys out so that you could see these inches, man. 10:56 a.m. on a Thursday, and I'm already lit with this look. So I mean, I'm like ready. I'm ready to go. So this is the final look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Without further ado, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed watching my tutorials. I want to continue doing tutorials, and I actually want to start doing more tutorials here on my channel because I think they're so much fun. If you guys have any suggestions for tutorials, anything you want to see, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become a member family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss these fun videos for the world. So go ahead and do that right now. And that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.